So, as you can see, I'm all ready for a questions and answer. So here is the desired equipment for a Q&A. So a nice person mentioned to me that asked me if I would do another questions and answers. Now I don't know why, because do people like these things? I do not know, but anyway, I've grabbed a coffee and I thought to myself, okay, let's do a Q&A thing. And I have some questions here. And so firstly, I'm going to read out the questions. Question 1, what do I really think of Donald Trump? Interesting. Question 2, why do I collect G-Shock and not mechanical watches? Okay, number 3, which YouTube channels do I watch? Okay, I think I've answered that before, but we'll come back to that. 4, are you making a watch? Okay. 5, do I prefer digital or mechanical watches? Number 6, do I work for Master Watch full-time? And number 7, why don't I like restaurants? Okay, so firstly, it's a little cold here today, so I've got a thing on there and a thing on there. Hopefully I'm not going to be too cold. That's why I've brought out a hot coffee. Okay, so the first question is, what do I really think of Trump? Right. To be very honest, I don't know enough about US politics, and I don't know enough about the claims made by people that follow US politics. I don't agree with Trump's policies. Some of them are okay, but the policy in particular around energy and climate change, I don't think that's I think he might be in the wrong direction there. Do I like him? I like him, yes, because number 1, he's funny. Number 2, he does make me laugh. He is funny. I do find Trump entertaining to watch. I like the people that like him and support him, because I like the energy that they have. And I suppose really because I don't really know enough about US politics or what's going on. I have general opinions, and I have opinions based on what I have sight of and what I think I know. But I'm not really informed enough. I suppose the underlying thing I do think is I like the way the election was very clear, and he got a very clear mandate from the American people. That's very good. And I really do wish him the best, and I wish the best for the US in the coming couple of years ahead. So I really hope and wish it's the best outcome. I suppose that's really the best answer to that question. I've never met the guy. I think if I met him, I would like him, and but I find him hilarious. I really like. I think he's a funny chap. Anyway, okay, number 2. Why do I collect G-Shock and not mechanical watches? Well, the thing is, I do collect mechanical watches also. In the past, I've collected IWC watches, actually, in particular. And but I did that. I was very young when I started collecting IWC watches, and the one that I remember I really liked the most was the Chrono Pilot, 39mm, reference number 3706. And I no longer have that watch, and there's a story there. And it's one watch that I keep thinking I would love IWC to remake that. But they actually did remake it, but I think it was a 41mm case, and there were slight changes. And when I saw that, I thought, my goodness, I really want that watch. And I suppose it still is a watch that I really do like. IWC now have a 41mm Pilot chrono, and that is possibly my favourite mechanical watch, along with the Omega Speedmaster Mark II. That racing chronograph is something I really do like. Right now I have also some Helm watches, and there's another story behind why I've got these two Helm watches, and but things might change there. And actually I do have a plan to collect mechanical watches, and I suppose right now the direction I would really like to go in would be Omega and IWC. Many times people have said to me, why don't I get a Rolex? And the thing is, I've nearly bought a Rolex maybe 4 or 5 times, and each time I've gone to the AD thinking I'm going to buy it, and I've walked out the AD not having bought the Rolex. So I suppose we've got an issue there. And I suppose it's a wider subject, and we always end up in the domain of what is the value that I hold the customer. When I was really going to buy a Rolex Sea Dweller, for example, and a Submariner, I quickly discounted the Submariner because I thought the Sea Dweller is really more of a Rolex that I want. But when I actually went in to buy it, I was going to have to pay retail. And I remember I changed my mind and I walked out thinking, I won't rush into this. If I don't feel the need to buy it, there must be a problem here. And it was about that time that I went over to IWC as well. And so it's very interesting. And I imagine everyone has a journey similar to that. But I think the dollar value attachment to Rolex makes me always look at other brands, like for me in particular, Omega and IWC. I always think there's more value in both those brands over Rolex. Now that's just personal to me, it's just my opinion, and so other people will have a different opinion to that. So the answer is I do collect mechanical watches also. 3. Which YouTube channels do I watch? Now, I've answered this before, and I do apologise because it's cold. My nose is running, and it's very cold. Which YouTube channels do I watch? Now, this is very interesting because I thought about this the other day because I was asked again, what YouTube channels do I like? And I have to say, initially, cold light of day in the morning, if I'm wanting some news or some information, I tend these days to go to Roman Scharf of Luxury Bazaar, if I'm honest. And if I think about it, I've been watching his YouTube channel for years now. And I suppose the longevity of it means I must like him and find his information the most interesting to me. There is a YouTube channel called Design Atelier, and I always take a look at what he's doing because I just like him. The chap's name is Jason of Design Atelier, and I really like his channel, and I love his editing and how he makes YouTube videos. I like him. There's a guy called Pete McConville, and he's an older chap, and he more talks about the watch business and the psychology behind it and the technical stuff. I really do like his stuff as well. He used to be called Not So Obvious Watches, I think. I really like him. There have been some YouTube channels that I watch less and less these days, and these are some of the most favourite YouTube channels that have got in excess of 100,000 subscribers. And I feel I don't want to name them actually, I don't know why, but there's a couple of ladies that have a channel, and there's another channel, and what seems to have happened is these very popular watch YouTube channels, as they've got more popular, their content for me has become very formulaic. I mean, very formulaic and very edited. And for some reason, that over editing and over formulaic format of content, for some reason, makes me less interested, although I am still interested. But then I'm only going to watch it if the title of the wristwatch is a wristwatch that I actually want to know about. So I only look at their channels if there's a specific watch that I'm interested in, or a specific issue that I think they might talk to. But the very popular channels that have become very formulaic, I think over the last year I almost don't watch them at all now. So I do find that interesting. And I suppose, again, that's just my personality and my preference. It's no mark against them at all, because they are the most popular YouTube channels. So, you know, the masses must know better than me. So that's how I see that. But today, my favourite YouTube channels are Luxury Bazaar, Roman Scharf, Design Atelier, Peter McConville. Gosh, I must watch other YouTube channels. I do. I've got writer's block or something. Because there are many other channels that I do watch, but they're the three that I've watched just recently in the last 48 hours, and they are channels that I tend to Google and tend to take a look at what they're doing. So I suppose that sort of answers that question. Am I making a watch number 4? Right. Gosh, I'm in the process of actually designing the functional specification for a digital watch. And because when you write a design spec for the functionality of a digital item, there's an awful lot more design work in it than you realize. But also the functionality of it really determines the technical spec of the watch itself. Hold on a second. So writing the design spec, the functionality spec, forces me to go back to the design spec as well. And one of the things I am doing is designing an electronic module that has Bluetooth and solar capability. And it will be a lot like a Casio functionality, but it is going to be different. But it's definitely not a smartwatch. I put this in the category of quartz watch, but it's definitely leaning over towards the mechanical side and the mechanical interest. It's definitely not a smartwatch. And it's very, very cool. I'm a little hesitant to talk more about it because a project like this is very, very expensive. And the amount of money that's required is breathtaking. From an engineering point of view, from a business point of view, it's something I really understand, so I don't have any problem with that. It's just at some point in time the bill has to be paid, and that could be a big problem. So I'm going very carefully here, and I don't know where the project will end. It's certainly in progress right now, so all I can say really is the minute I've got something really cool and interesting to show you, I am going to show you. It's going to be very, very cool. And I should add also, I do have 3 mechanical watches that I've designed, and they use generic movements. But the movements I would like to use, they are Swiss-made movements, and they are top grade, and they are very, very cool. So I've designed and built watch cases and hands and dials around these lovely movements. If that's going to happen, once again, I really don't know. Money not being an object, that would happen as quickly as I could do it, because I sort of want these watches myself. So this is the one nice thing about watch projects like this. The actual, I'm doing what I like, so it's kind of cool. Anyway, do I prefer digital or mechanical watches? Okay, it's an easy question. I really like both of them. Gun to the head, if I have to choose, I would say if Casio release an MRG King, an MRG-56, that would be my most wanted watch for some reason. And I also think it would be my exit watch. It would make me think, okay, I'm done now. I won't get, this is the top of the mountain, I can't go any higher. So Casio, if you see this video, or if anyone that works for Casio see this video, I suggest that you actually put into manufacture an MRG Square King, MRG-56. Because I am going to make such a fuss, song and dance about that watch. You've got no idea. It'll be a hit, I think, because I'll make so much noise about it. 1 second. Okay. And on the mechanical side, I really like mechanical sports chronographs and mechanical pilot chronographs. That genre of wristwatch I think is fantastic. I really like these objects. Okay, do I work for Masterwatch full time? My goodness, it feels like I flipping do. I feel like this Masterwatch business occupies more than full time. I think I'm working 110% on Masterwatch, and then 90% on absolutely everything else. So I'm maxed out double already. And I suppose that's a leading question, because do I dedicate all my time to Masterwatch? I am definitely going down that road, and I have to make some decisions at a point in time, because I'm definitely struggling. I've made myself too busy these days. So I tend to every day follow a list of priorities, and always things on that list never get done. And the next day they never get done, the next week, next month, then they never get done. So I'm really maxed out at the moment. So I don't know what to do, if I should make Masterwatch my full-time thing, because I haven't really thought about it in terms of scope. What is the scope of me working for Masterwatch, or doing crazy videos that I do full time? I'm not sure what that scope is. Right now, what I do, I sort of really enjoy it because I don't really think too much about it, and I literally film off the top of my head, and I tend to have an idea, and then I grab the camera, and then I do one take, and that is it. One edit and it's out. I don't really have any more time to do anything more than that. So yeah, if Masterwatch was to go full time, I don't know what's going to happen. But if Omega, Richard Mille and G-Shock want to talk to me about that, I'm all ears. I am listening. Richard Mille, G-Shock and Omega and IWC. Yes, you four guys. Talk to me, tell me something. I'm a businessman. Okay, why don't I like restaurants? There's some intelligence here, because I don't like restaurants. Saying that, if the restaurant is up a mountain or on a beach or somewhere with a gorgeous view, I tend to like it as long as I can have a coffee and a salad, or one course a meat dish, and I can get out of there very quickly. Restaurants are really not my thing. Having to sit down and talk and be restricted, and in the past, because I've been to restaurants a lot over time, I see them more as a working environment, and my own personal time, I really don't like them. But I know that some people like them and they want to go to them. But yeah, I really don't like restaurants. But it doesn't mean that I will never go to them. Yes, once again, if you're on a beach, on a ski slope, up a mountain, restaurants tend to be gorgeous. And especially skiing, having a coffee and a bikini, a cheese and ham sandwich on a ski slope in a restaurant type thing, absolutely love that. I love ski restaurants and beach restaurants. There you go. I do like ski restaurants, beach restaurants, and restaurants at mountainsides. Love those. All the other restaurants I don't like. Anyway, I shall end it right there. It's a little bit chilly. I do hope everybody is well, and speak to you again soon.